Other not great news for Democrats amidst the shame and embarrassment of the news of a completely corrupt and dishonest Democratic National Committee. Hillary Clinton has chosen her running mate for vice president, and it is Tim Kaine, the senator from Virginia. There are some reasons this could be a pretty good choice. It's a battleground state. Tim Kaine speaks Spanish. He would presumably have some appeal to Hispanic voters, who will be very important. He apparently opposes the Trans-Pacific Partnership, although as recently as last week, apparently he supported it. But now, Lewis, he's against it. He also has backed debt-free college. On one hand, this is as close to a liberal as a Virginia politician could be expected to be. But at the same time, Tim Kaine is one of the most vocal lawmakers to push for a new war authorization against the Islamic State. Now, the context is he's critical of the White House for conducting what he believes is an illegal war. But we've already talked about the problems of a broad war authorization against the Islamic State. He has backed a handful of abortion restrictions in the past. For example, a state law requiring parental consent before a teen can get an abortion. And as governor, he signed a repeal of Virginia's estate tax. During a debate in 2012, he also said he wouldn't rule out a minimum tax for all Americans, regardless of how little you earn, a more common Republican position. And the big one, Lewis, for many, many people, is Tim Kaine wanting to loosen bank regulations. This goes back to him signing a letter that urged regulators to rethink how banking rules would cover regional banks. There are a few instances of this. Should we be glad that this is someone that strategically might make sense in a normal election, although this election is a little different? Or should we be upset that this appears to be another sort of bankster sympathetic choice?
Well, who was going to be Hillary's VP? It's going to be someone of that ilk, right? No, without a doubt. I mean, she's not going to pick Elizabeth Warren. She's not going to pick Bernie Sanders. She's not going to pick one of those types.
It's not hugely surprising. My question is, and this is what I've been thinking of when we think about the Trump pick as well, who is brought in by the selection? And with Mike Pence, yeah, maybe it would bring in some evangelical Midwestern voters for Donald Trump. I'm not really sure. Who is brought in to supporting Hillary Clinton with the choice of Tim Kaine? If we're trying to appeal to the disaffected Bernie supporters, Tim Kaine is not going to be the guy. Now, if your argument is there are more independents than Bernie supporters that really need to be brought in, maybe Tim Kaine is a good choice. It's just so hard to say because this is not a normal election.
Well, some are suggesting that likability had a lot to do with this pick and that he's a really likable guy and that he's easy to like and to relate to or whatever.
Let's hope so.
And that's a problem that Hillary has, is likability. Yeah.
I've talked about how people of all ages, but particularly millennials, are owning cars less and participating more in the sharing economy. And one of the more popular options is Zipcar, which gets you a car when you want it, when you need it. They offer all sorts of cars, SUVs, hybrids, whatever you need. It includes insurance and it includes gas. You just pay for the time that you actually use the car. And you can reserve the car online from your smartphone over the phone. Then you unlock it with your Zip card. Each car share member reduces their personal CO2 emissions by between 1,100 and 1,600 pounds per year. For our audience, Zipcar is offering $25 of free driving credit if you sign up at joinzipcar.com/David. Support our show, reduce your carbon emissions and your spending on cars. Sign up at joinzipcar.com/David.